Village
Hi,
Kids.
everyone. This is the Village Kids podcast. I'm Annika.
I'm Julia.
And I'm Marga.
So, Erin won't be joining us for today, but she'll be back next week. This week's episode will be all about the TV shows and the films that we enjoyed growing up, whether it was together or separately. Maybe towards the end, we'll talk about shows and films that we enjoy now and what else is on our list. I guess we'll start chronologically. When we were kids, what were your go-to shows? I'm thinking Nickelodeon and Disney.
Tom and Jerry, man.
Tom and Jerry. No. Actually, that was on Cartoon Network. I was not allowed to watch Cartoon Network. I had the glimpse to Cartoon Network through Powerpuff Girls. Until my mom found out it was on Cartoon Network and then took the VCD away.
I wanted to be Blossom, but I was totally Bubbles because I cry a lot.
I feel that. Bubbles was someone that I just found so cute. But yeah, because I cry a lot too. I felt like I was so soft, but soft is strong.
Yes, put that on a t-shirt.
What are Nickelodeon ones?
I remember I love iCarly.
And do you remember Unfabulous?
Oh yeah, dude, Unfabulous, yes.
There were also cartoon ones, right? Other than Unfabulous. What was that one?
As Told by Ginger was my go-to.
Oh yeah.
I remember Julia also really liking that show.
Yeah, dude, everybody had to call me Courtney at one point.
Yes, I remember that.
You wanted to change your name. I remember that.
What was up with me?
I remember going a walk with you around the neighborhood. You letting me know very seriously that you're planning to change your name to Courtney. I was just darn, I wish my parents would let me change my name to Courtney.
I love that was the reaction.
Being jealous. Now I want to be named Summer or something like that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite childhood show overall, Margie?
Oh my
But I feel like I know the answer to this, but you can go ahead and say.
Mine.
Yeah.
Came later, around grade school, and that's American Dragons. The storyline was just too much for me. I can literally tell you chronologically what happened, and I've said that times in the show.
What about it did you like?
I just liked how it wasn't just about one thing. I think I just really appreciated the growth that person had and the relationships he had, especially with Rose. So I say if you were to go down memory lane and just want to binge watch a series that's 2 seasons and really short, but there are definitely more series out there that are also impactful. It just so happens that American Dragon, for me, that was it. Just because
yes, so cute.
Which one?
Are you talking about the first version or the second version?
What? Wait, there's a second version?
Well, I think they changed artists midway, right?
Yeah, they did. It was so weird, right? You'd think that would throw people off. To a certain extent, maybe it did. But then, you kind of just appreciate that, but the storyline was still straight on, even though the first season was designed or drawn differently. The second one still carried on the story and made it that much more substantial.
I had a question about Jake Long. Okay, Julia mentioned that she found him cute. I'm glad that I'm not the only one because
maybe that's why I really liked it.
There was a time when I was with people and discussion of hottest cartoon character came up, and I think everyone went around in a circle and Danny Phantom was brought up. I'm trying to think. Zuko from Avatar. And then when it came to me, I said Jake Long, and they were like, "Who's Jake Long?" And I showed everyone. And then they said he looked like he was in grade school. Insert the photo in post.
Oh my god!
He looks like a kid.
Short. Oh, he was cool. He wasn't the typical smart, clean cut guy.
Yeah, a different depiction of an Asian character. I think it's so rare to come across Chinese characters at that time. Yeah.
The entire family.
Let alone someone who's not the stereotypical studious character.
It was really great.
I'll throw the question back at you guys. Is it Jake Long then, if you were to pick who the hottest cartoon character from your childhood would be?
I think so. I can't think of anyone else, but like Recess, Hey Arnold is no thank you. I think it's really like Jake Long.
Wait, before we move away from American Dragon, I think it's also interesting to say that um he is the American Dragon, but he's also Chinese. You ever the whole show is called American Dragon, but he's Chinese. And the reason why he's American Dragon is because he's the American dragon, whereas like there's an episode actually where there are multiple dragons from all over the world. So like the dragon from Germany, etc. And it's just like wow, right? Like I
Yeah.
mean, this is like a show way back when.
Yeah.
It's just like to think about that. What about you guys?
Aside from like Lizzie McGuire's cartoon version, I think it's As Told by Ginger talaga. I remember binge watching it in college again.
I would say that's also part of my probably top like 5, top 10. And it's so interesting because with all of this like 2000s nostalgia coming up, I hardly ever see it get brought up. It's like it's been forgotten.
Underrated for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And
What did you guys like about it, like the show? Like what's something that you really enjoyed about it?
I think because they came from like a broken family. And I love how they talked about that. Like how she managed to go through life in like her younger years, having like an absentee father. Yeah, I don't know. I love it.
That's so deep for a show that we watched. Did you feel like you knew what it was when you watched it, like way back when? Or is it something that you just reflected on when you rewatched it?
I think I was, in a way, was looking up to how she handled it when I was that age also.
Because to be honest, I don't think I remember that deep of a storyline from As Told by Ginger. So I was kind of like, oh wow, that's so deep. There's I mean, I noticed some like things, but maybe I wasn't able to like put the entire storyline
Yeah.
to understand what it meant, right? I think it's actually the song. The song that I remember the most, to be honest. It makes me wanna rewatch it now.
I think I want to rewatch it again. She's a single mom who's a nurse. Galing lang how she was brought up by a single mom.
yeah.
Is that how you felt also, Annika? Like, is that why As Told by Ginger is like in your top 5? Pretty much 5?
Yes, top 5. It's interesting, like now that you brought up that whole part, I honestly completely forgot about that. I think when we were kids and we were just watching it, I didn't really take in all the themes the way that we can analyze them now and use that as like a reason for why I liked it. Like I guess this doesn't just apply to As Told by Ginger, but just childhood shows geared towards children in general. How amazing they are at like distilling like the message into something that's just entertaining for kids, but also injecting in there being a child of divorce or mixed race like couples. Like I remember Ginger dated Darren, right? And he was race and like just things like that. For me, just to answer your question, it was the friendships probably between Ginger and Phoebe. I don't remember what the other names are. It was what I pictured middle school to be like or grade school to be like. And you guys were kind of like my equivalent of those people. And so it's like you sort of see yourself reflected in these shows and you hope that that's how life is going to be like and that you'll have that kind of support system that you said Ginger had.
Yeah. What was your top then? If As Told by Ginger is part of your top 5, what would be your first?
You'll have to get back to me. I don't actually know.
I remember you mentioning Fillmore, but I don't think that was
God,
like
yeah. Fillmore. I think I enjoyed the shows that were hard to get access to.
Have to watch. Wait, what show?
See, it's too early for Julia. I don't think Julia would have watched it.
In hindsight, I'm not really sure why I like that also, but
It was a detective.
it was about it's detective work. Middle school kid named Fillmore, who honestly I can't even describe what else. But I woke up at 7 a.m. one morning and then it was playing on Disney Channel. And then I thought the show was so cool. And after that, I could never find the show again, is what I remember telling Marga. It was Elusive. The more time passed and I wasn't able to get access to more episodes of this show, the more amazing it became in my head. And I felt that way about like the other shows that maybe weren't as popular on Disney Channel, like The Proud Family or
Oh my God.
Yes.
I was really trying to remember when you
Recess.
mentioned
I love the Proud Family.
I was trying to remember the Proud Family. Like when you were talking about Fillmore, I was literally like thinking, there's a show with family in it. And I was like, and the amount of culture background that it was also bringing into Disney. I think personally for people who aren't as open to watching National Geographic, Discovery Channel, History Channel, etc. Like people who aren't really like growing up, who aren't like the type to go into those channels or even read like history books. I think it was just really nice to at least have a platform that was entertaining, but then you'd also be seeing more than just one person on the screen. Like I know there's also a lot of gaps there, like there weren't that many things that were shown on screen, but just the sheer fact that there was variation,
like other cultures being represented.
yeah, I think that's really great. Yeah, because I think personally I wouldn't have known any better in terms of what I should be seeing, but just because it was there and I was watching it, I wasn't like reflecting on it as I was watching it, like growing up. But it was like the fact that it was just something that I got used to seeing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Talking about like other cultures, do you guys remember Lil Bill?
Oh my God, yeah. Gosh, that has a whole that's painted over in a whole different light now because of Bill Cosby, right? Whoa. Just thinking.
I remember talaga when that news broke, I'm like, oh, wasn't he the one who played Lil Bill?
Okay, so progressing from cartoons and going into more TV shows, favorite series that you guys like remember? Like what would be your
my top? I think Lizzie McGuire and then Sweet Life and then Raven and then I'm just going on my list, guys.
why those shows?
Okay. I remember it being like Lizzie McGuire first and then Raven in Disney. And I'm like, reserve the TV, guys. I'm watching. I don't know. I really loved. I think there were a lot of good lessons you could learn from Lizzie McGuire, especially like about friendship. How Gordo is always there for the two girls. Miranda and Lizzie would always just whatever fights if someone gets like distracted or too over their heads about popularity and all that, one always brings them down to earth. I don't know why I love these shows so much. But I think it was more about the friendship. That's So Raven was so funny. I have a lot of videos like that I wanted to post like for a story on Instagram because it's so relatable. Like I remember this one episode where the teacher can see which person to call for a recitation or like a graded whatever, like a night vision goggles to pick which student is the right. Oh my god, this is so relatable.
I thought, did you watch Raven's Home?
No, I know. Wait, I think I watched like a few episodes.
What about the Cory in the House?
Yeah,
yeah.
How do you feel about those? Like those spin-offs and those like reboot?
I think they're typically not great, but it's like if you miss the show and the characters, like that's the reason why I watched Cory in the House.
Do you guys remember Rugrats All Grown Up?
Yes,
Oh,
that
I don't know if you guys get into that. Those like stories
series
about like what it really represents. It's just like, oh my gosh, why are you
I remember
childhood?
the conspiracy theories about that.
Yeah.
Wait, Margie, what was your favorite show growing up? Or favorite show from that era?
Mhm.
I feel like that era is very subjective because for example,
Wait, is
we
it the same era as Hannah Montana?
no, because Hannah Montana got out of Lizzie McGuire. Like Hannah Montana only started. Like I
okay.
feel like Lizzie McGuire was the start of like so many. They realized it worked, right?
Mhm.
Similarly, That's a Raven, same time I think as Lizzie McGuire, or
A little
I'm not.
later, I think. But like I guess not just in that era, but that point onward, what was your favorite show?
As a big entire thing, I would say that it was Hannah Montana for me. But I did love Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh my
And
gosh, I totally forgot.
yeah,
Right.
Wizards of Waverly Place I really got into. Like I had all of the, I don't know if I should say it, all the CDs of like all the seasons. Like it was so great. And you love all of the cameos of people and the characters that actually
Crossover
ended up.
episode.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
Like
like
Cody.
Mason the werewolf. Ooh, ooh, he's the love interest of Alex. But oh man, Bridget Mendler was also a love interest of um the brother of Alex in the show, and she was a vampire. I mean, like it was just really fun. It wasn't the thing about these shows are yes, there's like a linear story. There are linear stories, but then there's also like just the fun things similar to, I would say, Friends, right, had that similar feeling of
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you enter per se. Sometimes you'll just really love the show.
How about you, Nick? What's your number
you?
one?
Like you, That's So Raven. And another one, which I haven't thought about in a while, was My Wife and Kids. So played on Disney Channel.
My Wife and Kids is so funny also.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a gem that showed at like 11 at night or 10 o'clock at night. So those two shows, I always associate it with like that it wasn't just me watching. My parents would watch too. So which means they found it funny too, which is kind of validating. Like, oh, this isn't a kids show. This is like an everyone show. So mostly because of those memories, I guess.
So that means like at the same time when we were younger, we were watching like Sweet Life on Deck, but we were also watching things like Prison Break and what other shows similar?
Did you guys watch Full House? I
No.
love
Full
that.
House didn't watch, but I think it was iconic, right?
There are
I
so many
love
iconic
that
shows that I think we
one.
missed, Margie.
Yeah, but I think I don't know where was Full House being played?
I have no
On
idea.
American TV. That was
Sadly,
weird.
we didn't
Julia
have it.
Roberts.
Like the Brady Bunch, right? Brady Bunch, That 70s Show.
Boy Meets World.
So around that time, like what were more grown up, similar to what Anik was saying, like things that your families would be watching as well that you enjoyed around that.
Grey's Anatomy, Grey's Anatomy, Grey's Anatomy. I'll just leave that there. Everyone who watches Grey's Anatomy will understand. You just have to give it a chance, and then before you blink and it's like 15 seasons have passed and like 500 hours of your life gone, but you'll feel like you gained a family. Just kidding. It sounds so cheesy.
Friends though. That was like my go-to until this very day. It's like my comfort show when I feel sad. Like Friends all the way. At one point in uni, I promise you, like there's no night that it's just playing in the background until I fall asleep.
I believe it. Because you
I agree.
What's yours,
I
Mark?
can't.
Grey's
I think
Anatomy.
I like Grey's Anatomy because of Annika. But I think growing up, I liked watching Bones.
Mm.
Bones is like she's a forensic anthropologist, and it was really more. I would say kind of like CSI,
Yeah.
and CIS, like somewhere along that, but a lot more sciencey, I
Mm-hmm.
would say. And that was just really fun to have. You had like this really brilliant person. She could be in any field that she wanted to, but she went into forensic anthropology and she's the only one who could do what she does.
Yeah.
Really cool. Back then, streaming wasn't a thing.
Mhm.
So what you'd kind of latch on to whatever your family was watching. So I remember there was a time my brother was watching One Tree Hill. And so
Oh,
for me,
the
yeah,
OC.
bucket
Private
list,
Gossip
I
Girl.
wanted Gossip Girl, yeah. So there are certain shows that they were playing, but I wasn't really allowed because of,
Yeah.
obvious reasons to binge those
Yeah.
things. And so it's kind of still in my list of stuff to watch. I
Watch.
was able to finish Gossip Girl, but I do want to watch One Tree Hill like in its entirety just because it seems really fun. It's nothing deep or anything, just really
Opposite to Marga, I think I stayed up till like 5 a.m. watching the OC. Wow, there's been a lot.
And these are just like shows like that have storylines.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys were into like Extreme Makeover Home Edition or like those makeover shows where the person comes in and then they end up getting this entire new look or lifestyle. Like we have so many things that we actually get into, and I don't know. I mean, now with streaming, everything's kind of like in front of you. It's just a matter of whether you actually want to watch it. It's just kind of like decision paralysis, if you ask me. I guess to cap it all off, we can also just like say what are things like really fast, like right now that you're watching. So for me, it's The Crown. I think it's really fun to watch it because it's just like historical is, but still fiction, but
Yeah.
historic. And I really appreciate it. I think there's so much stories out there about different countries, cultures that I want to learn. And I can't watch documentaries for the rest of my life. So it's fun to have entertainment in
Yeah.
this manner. So that's just something I'm into right now.
Right now, the shows that I enjoy are mostly like thriller, murder mystery. So I'm watching Mare of Easttown, which is a new show. There's only 2 episodes available right now to stream on HBO. Honestly, all of the murder mystery shows, the murder mystery / thrillers that star people who are typically in movies who are now doing limited series, they're all kind of similar. But I just love how these shows feel almost like movies, like just
Mhm.
stretched out over 8 episodes. So they really get into the details of the story.
Yeah.
And it's done so well now. And yeah, I recommend it. I've only seen 2 episodes, but it's really good.
For me, what have I been watching? Okay, I've been watching 2 series simultaneously. It's Penthouse. It's a K-drama. I got reeled in by my sister. It's so good. It's like a murder mystery drama. I don't know. It's like that's one series that I think you need a break from because there's not one episode where you feel so stressed about. Because like all these twists and it's just so crazy. It's so well executed and written. And I got hooked also on Gilmore Girls. I think I'm still catching up with like these 2 girls here and Erin. I'm sorry, but I still love Dean. I'm in episode 5. No, sorry, season 5.
Season 5. Oh.
I'm
Season
in
5,
season
you
5
still like
one.
him?
Yes, thingy, but also like he cares.
Wait, that was like really news to me and Annika. So honestly, that's it.
Episode 5, I thought like, yeah, okay, I see. He's the only
Episode
guy.
5,
Season
season
1.
5.
Season 5. We really are all different.
We're all different.
Okay, so that's all for today. It was so fun talking to you guys about all of the 2000s nostalgia TV shows and films. Did we even talk about films? I think we were so
We didn't talk about it.
like this for part 2. We'll talk about the movies. All right, bye.
Bye.